What is going on, guys? Jason Burke here, Styles Clash for Life, coming at you on YouTube, and today I've got some football focus. The Pittsburgh Steelers played their all-time rivals, the Baltimore Ravens, at home this week in a divisional matchup in Week 14 of the 2022 NFL season. And obviously, I'm posting this video a little bit late this week. I had to work all day Sunday. I had a 12-hour show to work on from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. on Sunday. Got home and I was in a lot of pain. My body is quite distressed at the moment. So I watched the game yesterday, fell asleep, and got a chance to review the game today. So I'm sorry that it's coming out so late once again. It's not been my best season as far as reviewing Steeler games on time, so I do apologize. But it is Steelers-Ravens week, and in spite of how badly I feel right now, I still want to bring you guys that coverage. So please bear with me. Steeler fans have seen a lot of hope lately as Kenny Pickett has not turned the ball over in the last 3 games. I think 3 touchdowns, no picks in the last 3. He's been opening up the playbook a little bit. It's still not been fully uncovered for him, but he's starting to kind of get it a little bit more. He's throwing down the field a little bit more. Kenny Pickett's starting to open up a little bit compared to where he was earlier in the season. Lamar Jackson was not playing for the Ravens, so their star quarterback in quotations. Don't think Lamar is the most accurate passer, but he is an all-star athlete who can win them games. He wasn't playing this week. It was Tyler Huntley. So we came in with the opportunity to try and win and almost run the table for a chance at even, dare I say, a playoff spot. Now, I didn't think that was going to happen, but a lot of Steeler fans do. So their hopes were kind of high this week with Taylor Huntley. Little did they realize that by the end of the game, the matchup was going to be Baltimore Ravens practice squad, undrafted free agent quarterback Anthony Brown against Mitch Trubisky. A lot of stuff went down in this game. It's going to be a quick review because, again, I watched it late. My notes are a little sparse this week, and I'm not feeling very good. But I do want to bring you guys the review of this game. Pittsburgh should have won this game. Pittsburgh dominated ball control for the most part. Trubisky being in there did help us move the ball down the field and then cost us when it came to red zone stuff. So Pittsburgh put together a lot of nice drives, really made some plays, extended the ball down the field, looked like a pretty solid offense a lot of times down here with our wide receivers. And then Mitch Trubisky just making some pretty costly plays down in the red zone on our side of the field, which has been a story of ours all season long, a point of contention for us for the last several years, but especially in this game. Basically, first drive, Kenny Pickett comes out, gets nailed like 2 or 3 plays in the end of the game. Some guy goes right up in the middle of the middle gap. I think it was the assignment of, I want to say it was the center, Mason Cole, but Mason went one way and the guard went the other way, and then somebody came unabated and knocked Trubisky down right on his head. Concussion protocol. He went out when Pittsburgh was on defense, came back the next series and played, and then went out for the rest of the game. So I guess he passed the protocol initially, but then showed symptoms on the sidelines and was out for the rest of the game. So Trubisky came in, and I'm going to give a hot take right here. This should be obvious to most fans, but they're not going to want to hear this. The Steelers' offense is more exciting and more open and more fun for me to watch as a fan when Mitch Trubisky is out there. Now, I know Kenny Pickett is still a rookie. He's got the much higher ceiling. He's shown lots of improvements. I've liked what I've seen of his for the most part in the last 4 games. But the offensive coordinator in general and just Trubisky's eyes going downfield makes this a bigger play, bigger chunk offense when Mitch is out there. Now, obviously, again, Mitch is a veteran. Kenny Pickett's only on his 8th start. Pickett's still raw. Trubisky's been a Pro Bowler in the past. So this is obvious to most fans, I would think. But people were jumping down Trubisky's throat. But he is looking downfield. He's taking more shots. He is making the offense more exciting, for better and for worse. Because eventually those shots get too ambitious and there are interceptions like we had today. Trubisky's stats for the game don't look too bad until you get to those turnovers. 22 of 30. 276 yards and a touchdown, but then he had 3 picks. All 3 of the picks were costly. I think 2, if not all 3. 2 were definitely in like goal, not goal line, but like plus territory, like 20 yards and plus red zone territory. The third one was a deep shot down the field, which would have put us around the 2 or 3 yard line, if not in the end zone. The first interception was a pretty good looking read to Pat Freiermuth. Pat had the opening step. He had 2 or 3 yards on his other guy, but Mitch didn't read the other linebacker coming across the field, who got the nice interception. Second one was another force from Trubisky to Freiermuth, which was a worse read that got picked over the middle that was thrown late. And the third one was a deep ball that was overthrown to Deontay Johnson, who was in double coverage, one guy behind, one in front. Bad read, bad throw, got picked off. which cost us quite a bit of points in this game. We lost this game 16-14. Defense played pretty solidly, minus the run game. We'll talk about it. But if Trubisky hadn't thrown those picks, that results in at least 6 points, if not 9, if not more. Pittsburgh should have won this game. We had good ball control. We looked good on offense until we got down into those crucial spots. And Trubisky throwing 3 bad picks did cost us. With Kenny Pickett in the game, you would think he wouldn't have thrown those balls, but we also wouldn't have gotten down the field as smoothly either. So Trubisky does bring something as far as the play callers go that Kenny Pickett does not, but Kenny Pickett has been very good with the ball the last 3 weeks. So there's ups and downs to both. No controversy here. Once Pickett is healthy, he's going to get back in the game, but you have to worry because Pickett now has had 2 concussions since playing for us in only 8 starts. So that is not a good thing with this offensive line being as bad as it is. Negative points to Mason Cole there. Running the ball, not very much to speak of. The leader today was Najee Harris, 12 carries, 33 yards, and a touchdown. That is just 2.8 yards a carry. He's been under 3 for the most part. These last 3 or 4 games, he's gotten a lot better. But this was a big step backwards. Baltimore has a much better run defense and a much better defense overall, which is why I was impressed with the passing game today. But the running game did not give us too much. Wide receivers have some good notes here. Deontay Johnson, 6 catches, 82 yards. He was targeted downfield more today than usual. Did have a nice catch down the sidelines for a deep ball. Got another target from Trubisky that was picked off because it was a bad throw. But Deontay, for the most part, was catching everything thrown his way. I think he might have had 1 deflected or 1 dropped in his area, but was catching most things today. Looked like he had an extra little shuffle in his step today. Was looking fast out there. George Pickens, 3 catches, 78 yards. This guy's an absolute freak. Trubisky threw up a deep ball to him, deep down the field one-on-one. He outmuscled the guy, got good body position, went up and got a great catch. Another ball was thrown where the guy was nailed to his back, just sticky coverage, guy all over him, and he goes out with the hands catch like he does, goes up, uses those hands to grab the ball, taps those toes. There is nobody that I've seen in the league this year, nobody that is a better one-on-one combat catch guy than George Pickens. He has to get more targets, man. This guy catches almost everything that's in his radius. Anytime he has blanketed coverage on 1 or 2 guys and still makes those catches. He needs more targets. Pat Freiermuth as well, 3 for 33 and a touchdown. He got our only receiving touchdown of the day. And Steven Sims got 30 yards receiving as well. He was looking pretty good as the wide receiver 3 in there, using him in a lot of different ways. He kind of is doing what Calvin Austin would be doing if he was here right now and probably will do next year. So Steven Sims showing some nice signs as well. So the offense overall doesn't look bad. We do get 14 points, but again, 3 turnovers, especially when you're down in the Ravens red zone, that's the difference in the game right there. Defensively, TJ Watt gets a sack. Good to see him getting back. He's been very quiet his last 3 or 4 games since returning from injury. He has not been doing nearly as much. There's a lot of rumors that he's still playing very hurt. I would not be surprised, but he does get a nice sack today. Chris Wormley has his best game of the year, seeing some action. They're trying to do a lot of stuff with the D-tackle spot, moving a lot of guys around. Wormley gets a half sack here and a forced fumble that the Ravens did recover, but he got the forced fumble very nice. Tyson Alualu also got a half sack today. So 2 sacks overall, 1 for Watt and a half sack for Alualu and Wormley. They're juggling a lot of guys at the D-tackle spot. I think Larry Ogunjobi might have gotten hurt in this game, so we didn't see as much of him in this game. So Alualu played a bit. Wormley played a bit. DeMarvin Leal played a bit. Good to see that he's back from injury, but he didn't get to do much in there today. He's not getting enough snaps, in my opinion, either. I think that obviously Minkah Fitzpatrick was one of your leaders today. I think 6 or 7 tackles. He's the best tackler on the team. Miles Jack was everywhere. He got a couple nice stops on second and third downs out there. He played pretty well. Devin Bush not being called for negative things is a positive, although he's not making many plays out there. I think his name was called once today. Devin Bush is not getting blown up in the way he was last year, but he's not helping in the run game at all. He's not effective when Pittsburgh is getting run on, and he's just not making any positive plays. He's not getting sacks. He's not getting forced fumbles. He's not really around the ball, and it's just quite frustrating to see. For a guy that you trade up in the first round for a top 10 pick to get, a first-round trade-up is a big deal, and Devin Bush just not doing anything terrible is not really a positive for him. So wanted to call that out. Overall, I think the positioning of Levi Wallace today was pretty good overall, and I liked what Cameron Sutton's been doing the last couple of weeks. He's putting together a pretty good late season run here. I think that the highest receiver they had was Demarcus Robinson with 50 yards. Nothing big passing the ball. Again, Tyler Huntley, the backup, was in there. I think he only had 88 yards. And then Anthony Brown came in, the undrafted free agent rookie, came in for like 20 yards. So passing the ball, nothing doing today. Mark Andrews was held in check. I was afraid he was going to get off against our linebackers. Spillane was in there covering him a lot today and covered him pretty well, actually. Mark Andrews did not get a whole lot. I know he had one catch, and then he had another target that was kind of off target, but didn't do much for them. The running game is where Baltimore really cooked our defense. Again, they only had 16 points. And we even had a missed field goal that was blocked. We'll get into that. But we only had 16. They only had 16 points, so we didn't allow too much. But J.K. Dobbins had over 100 yards. He was back from injury today, looking very, very good, finding a lot of gaps. That was a problem. Just taking straight handoffs. They weren't getting too cute. They weren't doing a lot of screen stuff. They were giving him straight handoffs behind the quarterback, and he was just finding gaps in our O-line, from their O-line to our D-line. They were finding a lot of gaps in the middle. Our guys were not getting pressure in the backfield and not getting J.K. Dobbins to slow down. He was getting the ball untouched and finding seams, and he wasn't being touched till the second or third level. So that is a dangerous thing. Gus Edwards also played very well against us, and Tyler Huntley also ran pretty well from the quarterback spot. So 3 guys running well on us. And Dobbins, I think, only had 13 carries for like 120 yards. He dominated us tonight. And Gus Edwards with another 50-plus yard game. So Baltimore's running game was what led their offense, which means, again, that our linebackers and our defensive line, our front 7, have to do more to get pressure and get off their blocks, because they were not setting the edge. They were not getting pressure. They were not covering up their gaps at all in this game. That is the one big negative for our defense, in spite of the fact that it was a close game. Special teams, Chris Boswell, he got blocked on a field goal toward the end of the first half, I think it was, which would have actually given us the lead. If you look at the 3 points, would have been the difference, 17-16. But it comes down to a lot of things. But yeah, Boswell, he's back. First game back, first kick gets blocked. Not on him, not quite sure who that was on. Presley Harvin, 3 punts for 111 yards. Which looks bad on his average, because one punt was a 17-yarder, was caught in the wind and then bounced back toward midfield. 17-yard punt. The other 2 average out to about 96 yards, so you almost get a 50-yard punt average on the other 2. But one really bad punt here. He's getting a lot of flack. I thought in the last 2 games before this one, he played really well. And like I said, the other 2 punts he had in this game weren't bad, but that one was atrocious. 17-yard punt. So inconsistency out of Harvin. I don't think he's quite as bad as most people think he is, but that one punt was one of the worst that I've seen in quite a while. So he's got to get more consistent. So yeah, Pittsburgh should have won this game. They dominated and controlled for the most part, and still found a way to lose. 3 turnovers in Baltimore's red zone, plus a blocked field goal. Right away, you're looking at 12 points, 15 points. You're looking at quite a difference. And when you got guys like Anthony Brown and Tyler Huntley in there at quarterback, and Baltimore's missing their main guy, you really shouldn't be losing those divisional games when you're trying to get on a roll. But also, that's what happens when your young quarterback who's playing pretty well gets knocked out because your offensive line stinks. Another penalty today from Chuks Okorafor. Another one today from Dan Moore. I don't like either of those guys. You know how I feel about those guys. Again, Mason Cole, I think, was the one that allowed the big hit on Kenny Pickett. So what do you guys think? We're down to 5-8 now. The season is pretty much over. It's not official yet, but it's pretty much over. So the key point is getting back healthy with Pickett. If he's not healthy, there's no reason to play him right now. Might as well keep Mitch out there until Pickett is 100%, because the last thing you want is for your young quarterback to get a 3rd concussion in his rookie season before he gets 10 starts. So who impressed you today and who did not? What are your differences here in this game today? Tell me in the comments below. And again, I'm sorry for the late review. This should be the last time this year that I'm late on a review. I don't think I'm working any more Sundays. So I should be seeing you guys more promptly in the future. I'll be feeling a lot better. My voice will sound better. I'll be a lot more with it. But tell me in the comments below what you thought of this game. Please like, share, and subscribe if you want more of these Steeler deep dives. And keep checking back every week for more Steeler reviews, film reviews, poetry, and other things. Take care, guys.